Super Bowl day, baby.
Oh, you're right. Super Bowl day. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? As Mike said, Super Bowl day. We've already made our predictions.
It's a national fucking holiday.
You know who we're rooting for? We're rooting for them Chiefs. We can't let them 49ers. Baby. Although I like the players at the 49ers better. I can't. Sorry, guys. We are loyal to our boys. But yes, getting right into it. We got a new intro for you guys, all right? Inspired by one of the GOATs so far, Mr. Ye. Anyways, let's play that shit. Let's break it down.
We fell in love with you. Guys like us just don't follow the fucking sky, you know?
Let's go. Okay. Come on. Breaking.
Can't do it like this, baby. Just 6 inches. 6 inches from the waist.
Come on, we vibing.
Let's keep zoning. Let's keep floating. Let's keep moaning.
All right. You know where that's from? That's from Kanye's new album.
Oh,
Vultures won.
The talk of the town.
I got a bunch of vultures around us now.
No shit, bro.
You know, fuck,
Vultures won.
Shit.
Which implies obviously there's going to be more.
You know, guys, like as we mentioned, we've made it our social responsibility to start breaking down these agendas. So please do not forget to share, like, subscribe.
Please, guys, you are doing everyone you know a favor by doing that.
Share the word.
It's time to open that third eye.
Wake them up, ladies and gents. Wake them up. All in God's name.
You got to wake up, guys.
First.
And really quick, before we even go into our first topic, you got to wake up. It's like that Patrick Bet David video you showed me about that woman. She's talking about how the 10% of the people.
Oh.
So you got the 1% controlling the world.
That's right.
You've got the 4% that are controlled by the 1%. Basically the propaganda people keeping people shut. And then you've got the other 5% that are, quote unquote, truly woke. And I'm quoting myself, by the way, ourselves. Because we've always liked to say we're truly woke, that are trying to wake up the other 90% of people.
So yeah, man, I mean, that's exactly right on. So Patrick Bet David, guys, is someone that we follow. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Mike and I jumped in on this guy once he was a little bit more established. I really didn't know who he was at first, but he is fucking badass. This guy fucking, if you guys don't watch him, guys, this guy will wake you the fuck up. Yeah. One of the few people, I'm sorry, I can't say many, because there's not many people Mike and I respect and say, hey, you know what? This guy does his shit. He does it right.
I agree. Yep, you're right.
Patrick Bet David is one of those. And like what Mike was talking about, 1% of the population controls the world. 4% of the population are their puppets. 90% of the population are zombies. And you know what? This is where currently Mike and I are at. And this is what we're about to change. But
that's
5% are trying to wake up the zombies. This is where we're at, guys.
This is where we're at, people. Up. This is the Stogies N Stuff pod. Wake the fuck up.
This is our era.
Wake up.
For you Swiftie fans. We are waking your ass up.
No shit. I just wanted to make that comment real quick. No shit. You know what's funny, bro? It's funny you mentioned that. We're talking about Super Bowl. And obviously, you know, we're talking about it from the actual perspective of the teams competing.
That's right.
But then you got our girls saying, oh, I don't know whether to go for Olivia Kumpo, whatever, or Taylor Swift. Olivia Kumpo is the girlfriend of 49er Christian McCaffrey.
49er?
Sorry, not girlfriend. I think they're married or engaged. Whatever you guys, I don't keep up with you, but I know you're more than just that. And then obviously Kels and Taylor Swift, the boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, it's because I don't know who the fuck I offend anymore, bro.
Yeah, I know, man. It's okay, bro. You try to give the respect as much as possible, bro. So cool.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to come off as like demeaning to
exactly.
their relationship.
That's not what we mean.
But the point is significant others. So it's like they're like Team Kumpo or Team Swift.
I know.
But
hear
it's
from Jack
funny
too.
How the media has turned it into that. Mm-hmm. And it's all just to get more fans, guys, obviously. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist.
Yeah, exactly. So by more fans, it's not that the NFL isn't already leading in fans, but this is also solidifying that.
Yeah.
Because think about it.
Yeah.
They even got our women. I'm sorry. Yes, I claim my woman, you know.
My woman.
Right? But Jackie has never really ever actually followed the NFL, and now she's on, hey, you know, what time's the Super Bowl? It's because, you know, there's this big controversy. You know, I love both of these women, Olivia Kumpo or something of the sort, right? All respects, not disrespecting you. I don't follow you. I don't necessarily know. But I know her partner is Christian McCaffrey. Him, I do know. So it's Olivia versus basically Taylor, and they're like conflicted. And I'm like, hey, babe, get into it. I don't care as long as you're in it, the Super Bowl and not nagging that is it almost over? Because I'm in my zone.
No shit. Yeah.
But yeah, that's become a thing. But anyways, we already made our predictions. You guys can make us eat our words. Chiefs are taking it. Although I like the 49ers better. I like the players. I like what they stand for. There's a lot of history there with the coach, and then McCaffrey and his father and playing Super Bowl, who they were under.
There's history behind this.
Mike Shanahan, all this stuff. It's really cool. But I can't let them beat my Cowboys, guys. That's what loyalty looks like.
That's right. They both got 5. They both got 5 trophies, Cowboys and 49ers.
That's right.
I'd rather let the Chiefs get their 3rd trophy under Mahomes than the 49ers pass the Cowboys like the Steelers already have, and obviously the Patriots.
Agreed.
So fuck, guys. I mean, if you want to know what our Super Bowl predictions are, go to our last video. It doesn't really make sense for us to do it now, just because by the time y'all see this video, it's probably going to be done already. So.
That's right.
But all aside, that's our gibberish. A
little rant.
Our little rant prior to the topics. But guys, you obviously heard the new intro. Kanye's album, Vultures 1 is out now on at least all relevant platforms. Now, it was first initially just released on Apple Music.
You want me to be completely honest?
Be completely honest.
You know how you just said that? It was first released on Apple Music?
Yes, be completely honest, brother.
Hold on.
I'm waiting. So
this was released in Apple Music first, right? I checked yesterday. I was like, oh, shit, okay, cool. I mean, I didn't stay up for the album release. I know some people were till about... Ye's got so many followers or so many loyal fans that people were staying up. I saw till like 4 or 5 in the morning waiting for that album to drop, and they're like, "Oh, Ye's the only person that can play with my feelings like this." And yes, he's
play with my
this
feelings.
guy's composed. He's overall composer, producer, lyricist, etc. The whole above, right? He's got it all. But I didn't wake up. I said I need to sleep and I need to work tomorrow morning. So I woke up and I saw everybody finally was jamming out to Vultures 1 by the infamous Ye on iTunes or Apple Music. Sorry, I'm old school. iTunes.
No shit, bro. Damn.
Nostalgic moment.
That's the last time he had an Apple, if y'all can tell.
Whatever. No, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
That's the last time he had a bite of the forbidden fruit.
I'm sorry. Samsung's just better.
That's the last time you had a bite of the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, guys, wake the fuck up. Fuck. I can't talk shit. I got a Mac Pro regardless. But anyways, right? Going back to what I'm getting at. It wasn't on Spotify. I'm a huge Spotify user. Initially, I like the app and the operating software a lot better than Apple Music. It just flows better. One, it's a little bit more vibrant as far as like color schemes, etc. It doesn't look so plain like Apple Music, at least from what I said. That's my opinion, okay? Regardless, I can change the color scheme, etc. And it does a great job on paying attention to what type of music you like, and
that's what really got
pushing
me,
out, pushing out other similar artists or genres, and then letting you know like random cool facts about the artists, upcoming concerts. If they just make announcements that they're going to start going on tour, you can see that on the right side. Like it's cool, it's awesome. I love it.
No, and it's no doubt that Spotify is the bigger platform as well.
Agreed.
Than Apple Music. I mean, obviously Apple Music has millions of users, but guys, Spotify is worldwide. Sort of,
they took over
listeners. They've taken over completely, and it was funny because I saw this one snippet with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah,
and she was talking about how you listen to like on my Spotify. It should be on Apple Music. Or I don't know what, but it's like, do you realize most of your fan base is on Spotify? Exactly. What the fuck?
What the fuck are you doing, woman?
But one thing that got me, because I use both Apple Music and Spotify. I started with Apple Music since 2018 when it came out with it. But when I use Spotify, it's a world of a difference, guys. The one feature that I love that you can't do with Apple, and if you can, that'd be amazing to show, but I think with Apple, you can only create a radio station based off of a song you like. And then it starts to do a radio station, like basically like kind of like Pandora. With Spotify, it does it on the fly. You put Smart Shuffle with a song you like, and it already starts to give you relevant music to that. And it's like,
oh shit,
oh, you like this? Like it, and we'll give you even more relevant shit. Yep. You end up listening to it for fucking like if you're on a drive or whatever, you'll get lost in it.
Yep.
So especially it's fucking crazy. But anyway, yay.
I was making a point. The reason why I brought this up. I haven't listened to the damn album yet. I barely played the first. But I'm getting.
I haven't listened
so we
to the
talk
damn
about
album.
Ye. We talk about Ye, and I've been asking Mike. So inadvertently, I don't know. I told Mike, hey, so talk to me about
The point is,
talk to me about the album, bro. Like, what do you think about it? Yeah, and he's like, yeah, bro. I was like, yeah, man, cool. Yeah. I heard that too. But I'll be honest, I really hadn't heard anything other than
that too.
I believe Vultures was out as a single for a while, and so was. I don't remember which other one, but finally, I got the damn album in front of me as we speak, and I'm going to give that a listen today, and I'll give my honest review on a separate short, give you guys an update for those loyal followers we got, but there are some songs I like. Mike said, first we got to play is Back to Me. Let's go ahead and put that as our intro. We put it up, guys. You ain't going to find guys like us, okay? It ain't coming.
Guys like us don't just fall at the fucking sky,
Amen. Exactly. Oh man, my goodness. So,
guys, I will say my top 5 songs from Vultures 1. I'll let Mo give them a listen. Are Stars, Back to Me, Do It, Vultures. Shit, I know there's more than top 5, but I'm giving my top 5.
Okay, hold on. I'm adding Stars. Which one else?
Stars is the first one.
So I can make sure I listen.
I'll give my priority. I'll tell you what. So number 1 is Back to Me.
Okay, Back to Me. Wow, I already listened to it. I like that one.
Yeah, number 2 is Vultures.
Okay. Yeah, I listened to Vultures. I like that one though.
Number 3 is Do It.
Do It.
Number 4 is Stars.
Do It. Okay, got it.
And then number 5 is Good.
Good.
Yeah. I've got a couple more songs I like after that.
I thought you were about to say Hood Rat.
Hood Rat is all right to listen to. It's just like this guy going Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat.
But guys, I'm looking at the album cover as we speak right now, right?
The controversial.
His wife, right? his wife.
His muse.
Yeah, and they obviously, he's finally got a partner. Well, not finally. I can't say Kim Kardashian was never a support system for her, because from my memory, at the time when him and her and Kanye were together, she was initially always basically nude also.
Yeah.
So I'm picking up on this trend that Kanye is onto. Apparently to me it looks like and apparently
yeah.
he likes to show his women, man. Like cool on him, I don't know if he idolizes sexuality. I don't know how Christian that actually is. We've talked about it before. I like his music. I can't say I stand for how he how well he represents his partner, but to me it's too much. Cool. I know it's artistic. All cool, all for you, man. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put my woman out there like that.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, bro.
Yeah? Tell me, why
because look, you go back to his muses, and I feel like each album has a muse. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I think, was Amber Rose.
Yep. I think so too.
And then with Kim, fast forward, it was the album, the Pablo, Saint Pablo. What's the name of that album? I forgot. But the point is, she's on the cover, right? Then you got Donda, which is his mom. And you could tell it's the dying of his relationship with Kim. That's his muse. And that's the story you could tell because she was still there. And now you've got
Vultures.
Bianca, I think is her name. Sensory. Something like that.
Let's see.
And that's his muse. So he is inadvertently acting like an artist.
It's Bianca, Sensory.
He's inadvertently, he is an artist, not inadvertently, and it's all on purpose. So, it's all on purpose, guys. But the point is that he's had a muse full of women. It really, it's rare that you see artists do that.
Yeah.
At least, in the musical sense. Mm-hmm. The only other one I can think of off the top of my head, mainstream wise, is The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
How his albums have transformed from Starboy. How it's all been,
that's
play.
It's different though.
Yeah, I love Weeknd's latest album, by the way.
That's cool.
It's fucking legit album.
That would make you get some kind of trends.
This album. So Vultures 1. What I love about it is the thing about Kanye is it's almost like if he's Iron Man in the Avengers sense.
I like that, bro.
Oh shit. And he brings all of these rappers together or artists. And composes an Avengers masterpiece. You know what I mean? Now I will say that Vultures 1 isn't the best album he's had. I would rate it like a good,
but I will say
6.5, 7 out of 10.
I will say this: it's better than most music out there.
Oh, for sure,
now.
bro.
Because for me, in my opinion,
I can't listen.
Everybody's getting fucking lazy. All I'm hearing is just gibberish from all these new upcoming artists, young, I guess. I mean, maybe it's just Gen Z thing. I don't know. But to me, music's got to mean a little something or have some good, like there's got to be some effort there. It's not like, let me just show up with some codeine and kind of just throw out some bullshit,
yeah,
you
bro,
know?
and money.
Yeah.
Drugs, sex, money. That's always the fucking thing. And then they throw a badass hook, like a nice produced little hook, and that's what's repeated throughout the song. There's no fucking trying anymore. It's just like, let me make something as close to pop as possible.
Let us know if you agree, guys.
And that's how they make money. Now, will it sell records? Yes, because it's catchy. And it's for the younger generation because they idolize that shit.
Yeah, they do.
But music that's going to last, we've talked about this before. And it's from Pound Cake, from Drake, in the beginning. I don't know who's saying the quote, but they started off, only real music is going to last.
Yep.
All that other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow.
An older gentleman.
Right. But it's fucking true, guys.
It's gone tomorrow.
That's right.
Yep.
And it's fucking true.
And there's been a few artists that have brought that up, like even J. Cole's himself with 1985. He's arrived. He basically preaching to the generation coming up, Gen Z. Hey, trap drums is the shit that's hot now, but you know, hope you're basically doing smart shit with the money you're making, because that shit that you're currently on is not gonna last.
Right.
You know, and then hey, you know what? I'm here trying to spit some wisdom at you, so wake the fuck up. So these artists, you know, they also our current generation of artists that idolized, you know, the Tupacs, Biggies, and stuff like that. They understood in a mature manner that, hey, look, I got to initially push out something that's of this importance.
Right.
I feel the generation that's currently, you know, making waves right now is more of along the lines of, let me just fuck the effort. I just got to go ahead and go viral and become trendy. And I make
sell
my money,
out,
you know?
make quick buck.
It don't matter to me. Money's money, you know?
Make quick money.
But
money's good.
What they're really missing in this equation of success is purpose. What's the purpose behind it? What are you trying to go ahead and change?
brother. Purpose.
So, yeah, I mean...
I like
guys,
that.
make it an eventful agenda, right? Where there's a social responsibility to the culture you're initially influencing. That's just me. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it, but like I said, Mike said too. Vultures is maybe he rated about a 6 or 7. Maybe he's being hard. Maybe he's a hater, low key. I don't know. I said it was a 10. I said
just
it was
have
a 10.
a high fucking standard, bro.
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
And also
I'm
look,
just trying to create some controversy.
No, I know, right? Look. In comparison, guys, all these other albums from other artists, I'm probably like rating a 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So I agree. I mean, I'm being harsh, but I'm being harsh because I know what Kanye is capable of. His Donda album was fucking badass. And I'm not talking about Donda 2, because obviously that was released on certain platforms, I think his own, through that little device or whatever. Who? And it wasn't really out to the public. Donda 2.
Oh, yeah. It's still not out.
Yeah, it's still not.
There.
It's I have it, but because I bought that little device thing over.
I say, hey Mike, let me your login, bro, because that's the only way I would listen to it at the gym.
And the little device, Mikey made it his, and he would take it everywhere. I would just randomly hear music playing from his little room, and I was like, yeah, he's listening to it. But nonetheless, that's how I rate it. I gave it an honest 6.5, maybe 7 on a day when I'm really feeling it.
I think the world agrees with you, bro. I mean, I like to share something as always. You know, we're always sharing fire, but you know, Kanye West was out and about somewhere last night and sharing the results of his current album. Right, he's currently number 1.
Last year and a half, to be number 1 in every single country in the world, including Israel.
Oh shit!
It's
including Israel,
including and not
since
limited
he's been
to
labeled as an anti-Semite. Come on, guys.
Oh man. I love.
He already addressed this in his Vulture song.
I love what we're doing here, ladies and gents.
You know what verse I'm talking about.
And you know what? I'm gonna add to this conversation, right?
Yeah, do it, bro. I want you to add to it, bro.
You know,
I want
talking
you
about
to.
artists. Mike and I are obviously huge when it comes to music. It's something that, guys, when it comes to I guess what is it? There's just something about music, the vibrance, the vibes, everything. I mean, that's a thing. You know, the vibrations that it pushes through your body,
frequency.
Yeah, those frequencies and stuff. I mean, it's a real thing. But anyways, I don't want to get into the science of it, even though it is a science. But guess, you know, there was this whole thing went viral about, you know, obviously we all know the Grammys just took place, right?
Yes, they did.
And, you know, Kanye being Kanye, presenting things in his own way, not necessarily caring how it comes about. Just he's a very passionate man. Again, this guy's a composer, producer, lyricist, you know, one of the goats out there. Another gentleman like him that kind of up for debate, might have turned his back on Ye at the time. But Jay-Z. This guy's another guy that went ahead and changed the whole culture of R&B, I want to say, right? Initially, I don't think it was at the point when Jay-Z was making a difference, I don't think it was an actual category for the Grammys, and I think he made that possible with his influence. But anyways, he finally done spoke. Jay-Z done spoked out, and I'm saying that inappropriate.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's on purpose, guys.
Right, yeah, exactly. Calm down, okay? But he finally spoke out on behalf of his wife, Beyoncé. Something Ye did years prior with the whole Taylor Swift. Go figure. Taylor Swift's still in the picture.
No shit.
But I'm gonna show this to you. You guys let me know what you think. He brought up the fact that, hey, you know what? There's a lot of artists out here because, unfortunately, Beyonce was passed up again, right? And what I mean by that, passed up for album of the year, right? And you're talking about someone that is always winning awards yearly. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and let Jay-Z explain himself, but he finally spoke out. Let's get this going.
Some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you made it, bro.
Some of you.
Some of you don't belong in the category.
Oh, damn.
No, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
My man.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won album of the year.
She has one album of the year. Talk about his wife.
Metrics, that doesn't work.
Yeah, no shit.
About that. The most Grammys, never won album of the year. That doesn't work.
Oh.
That's the CEO, isn't it?
Yep.
Some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you made it, bro.
We went over that already. So he's basically showing you guys, he's telling you the same thing we're basically elaborating here. Music, at least the production of it anymore, and the way it's rated is just not the same anymore.
Right.
Now, there was a lot of controversy whether Jay-Z was initially embarrassed Beyonce, or if he was, hey, props to this guy, he finally spoke up, and he's got such a huge platform now that finally somebody said something the way it was supposed to be said. But adding to it afterwards, this is a little bit of grace that Jay-Z has. Let's go ahead and show this next clip.
Showing up. Just keep showing up. Forget the Grammys. You got to keep showing up.
Show up.
Until they give you all those accolades you feel you deserve. Until they call you chairman. Until they call you a genius. Until they call you the greatest of all time. You feel me?
I feel you. Yeah.
Just in life.
So again, guys, remember going back to the whole thing we're talking about. Make it have some purpose. What are you initially trying to accomplish with the movement or the culture you're influencing with your music? Obviously, we're not the only ones preaching this. These are higher up people that have been doing this in the industry for years now. Have established themselves as success, and they're sharing the same thing, guys. Fuck the Grammys pretty much. But sorry, no, I don't know. That's always been, for some reason, every year an artist is speaking out towards the Grammys to basically do better. Right. That's what Mike and I are always preaching, guys. Just be better.
Be better,
Fuck.
guys.
And so obviously, the CEO of the Grammys had something to say.
Yeah.
I want to share that next.
Yeah, share that clip, bro.
That
sure.
First, we have to understand that the only way to win is to have the membership of the Academy vote for you.
Okay.
In order to be a member of the Academy, you have to be a professional working in music in the United States. For now, the United States. Hopefully we grow that. Right now, if you're a working professional in the United States, you can become a member of the Recording Academy. Once you're a member of the Recording Academy, all the music gets submitted, the members listen to it, and they evaluate it on the quality of the art. Not the sales, not the streams, not how many fans, not how many followers, but purely on the opinion. And it's very hard, as you all know, because it's subjective. There's no best song.
He fucking admits it.
It's just the
it's subjective.
Of the membership in that particular year. That's how you win a Grammy. That's it. The voters vote. There's no committees. There's no journalists. There's no labels. It's music.
So you're telling me
voting for their peers. Period.
So you're telling me it can be tainted.
It basically can. He just said that himself, but not for those that can read between the lines, which is what we're telling you guys to do. That's what he's basically just said, as Mike brought up. So if you guys don't know and you didn't keep up with the Grammys, because it's not like Mike and I are really on top of entertainment all the time, obviously we did a quick search. Who the fuck won Album of the Year? Go figure. Taylor Swift again. My goodness. So that's what I meant.
Yeah,
That's what initially sparked this whole conversation. Ye called it out when he did at the time, and everybody said, "Hey, you crazy?" Granted, Ye did it in his own way, of course, right? But Jay-Z finally spoke up too, and again, that was controversial. Did he embarrass his wife, or was he saying, "Hey, you know what? Enough is enough"?
Right.
So Taylor Swift won 2024 Album of the Year with her album Midnight, I believe. And so based on everything he mentioned, it's not about how many, likes or how many followers they have and their influence. It's about the music itself. You're telling me out of all these other artists that are actually pushing out high quality music, and I think she won over Lana Del Rey or something of the sort, right? And it got a little awkward there too, because as soon as Taylor won, because they were winning, they were obviously competing for it.
Right.
Taylor went to go get Lana Del Rey and brought her up with her, which you can tell like Lana Del Rey just kind of wanted a little time herself because she didn't win it. At least that's from what I saw. But I got
you read the emotions.
Yes, I read it, and now I got nothing against Taylor. Taylor's cool, man. Like I said. Jackie on my end and Dom on your end, they love it. They love her, right? But I'm just saying, is it really did her album really, really just change a whole generation? And I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, man. I mean,
it is up for debate.
What's interesting though is really her lack of self-awareness. Here's why I'm saying this. Number one, I saw a snippet of a clip of Taylor Swift. She was at an interview. And there was other notable actors, one being Richard Gere. Now, for those of y'all, Richard Gere is notable for playing Pretty Woman, the Gigolo movie. What's that other movie? Prey, or where he plays a lawyer. I forgot, and he comes out with Edward Norton. I forgot the title of the movie, but it's a fucking great movie. And he's just a very notable actor, guys. In the interview, Richard Gere puts her on the spot and says, when
Primal Fear? Is that what it is?
Primal Fear.
Yeah.
Primal Fear. He puts her on the spot and says, Taylor Swift in the beginning asked me when I was here, "Oh, what are you here for?" And she was just kind of embarrassed right about it. But nonetheless, that's number one. The fact that she lacks that self-awareness. And number two, she got a lot of criticism too in the Grammy Awards, because when she went up to get the award from Celine Dion, she just pretty much got the award and that was it. Like, she got the award and was like, "Okay, thank you, everybody." She didn't necessarily show the respect to Celine Dion like someone would. But that comes to the self-awareness aspect. Now, I'm not trying to knock this woman. But what I'm trying to get at is that she has tendencies that show that she's not necessarily very personable. She may be able to write, whether she writes her own music or not. Maybe she can write. But it kind of explains why you never really see her in interviews. You never really see her talking. They let her music speak for her, because maybe she just doesn't have that personable aspect.
I never thought of it like that. You're right. She doesn't really have any actual interviews out there. Right? That's a good point, Mike.
And the reason why I get to that is because I think that if the Grammy Award is really based off of a subjective interpretation of whomever is the one that's going to give the Grammy Award, whatever panel that they have, and they're strictly rating the artist and their music, I think that they should take into consideration the background of said artist. They should take into consideration who's going to win, who the potential candidates are for the Grammy Award, what their social responsibility has been, what they've done. And I'm not saying as solely as the basis for winning the Grammy Award, but if you've got two great albums where it's like, fuck, they're great albums, and what's the tiebreaker? Maybe they should take into consideration what they do to actually maintain that status.
I agree.
Because I do think they say never meet your idols or whatever, that whole thing.
Yeah, because you'll more than likely get disappointed.
Right. I do think that maybe, as a tiebreaker or maybe some sort of consideration, they take all past accolades or whatever into consideration. I don't know. Obviously I don't evaluate artists for a living. I don't do the Grammy Awards. I don't do any of that shit. But I'm really just ranting off about that because Taylor Swift, you've been everywhere, and I really don't understand why. I mean, I get the obvious reason why. You've got a lot of publicity on you, but
we got nothing against you. Honestly, we're not saying you're a bad person.
I think really all it is I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking see her everywhere, and it's like, okay, that's enough. Like,
I'm sure
they're really gonna wear her out.
I'm sure she's tired of it too. You know, I can get to a whole rant. Mike and I have these rants sometimes. Let's end it right there, right? I want to get into our next topic. Like, as we've mentioned before, Mike and I kind of like to mix things up.
Right.
So, you know, one thing that's got some really good meaning, I feel, is this whole interview with Putin, right? The Tucker Carlson and Putin interview. On the Tucker Carlson. That's right. Tucker Carlson. What the fuck? Damn. Why am I having trouble saying that?
Tucker Carlson,
guys.
Tucker Carlson.
Excuse my speech impediment. All right. Peach. Damn. Fuck. I need more coffee. Sorry.
Self-explanatory.
This guy. Anyways, for those of you guys that did watch it, kudos to you. You guys are part of that 5%. But if you didn't watch it, you know, it's our, as we mentioned, it's our social responsibility. Wake you the fuck up, okay? You ain't gonna be zombies no more as long as you guys watching us. So, anyways, you can tell that if you guys, I'll sum it up for you. The interview was about 2 hours long. The first hour that I watched was pretty much giving a whole history lesson from back to, I don't know, maybe 16th century, I believe.
The 8th century or 9th century. It was like the 800s.
1600s even. He mentioned something in the 1600s.
Oh, he went all the way through. Yeah.
He was giving you guys pretty much a whole history breakdown of how Ukraine come about, Russia's background, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're not a huge history enthusiast, I'm basically letting you know you can skip to maybe
like the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, 30-minute mark. That's when you really starts really getting relevant with the timeline we're at right now. Right. But after that, then that's when he starts to hold this position a little bit more over the West, currently where we're at. But he didn't necessarily say anything too controversial. I felt like he was trying to be.
It's almost like he was trying to be appealing to the Americans.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to gain the empathy of us. He knows Tucker Carlson is a pro-American stance. It's not pro-Russian, pro-Ukrainian. It's pro-American. And he went in there with a purpose to get clarity on what the fuck is going on.
That's right. And, you know, I think Putin's a very smart guy at least from what I saw, right? Mm-hmm. He held his ground.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I don't think he's necessarily the best interviewer, though. And that was initially feedback I saw because he would go on his little rants. It's not like that's anything bad, right? But I was like, okay, man, kind of get to a point. Like, we're short in time.
No shit.
Like, fuck. You know, a whole hour of just history.
Yeah, because I saw Tucker
Russian.
Carlson would make remarks like, I don't see how this is relevant, but okay, it's interesting.
Yeah, and, you know, I was kind of surprised that Tucker did that.
Right?
I'm not against. Cool, man. That's awesome. You know, go ahead and call it out as is. I was just like, just watch out for your life, you know?
No shit, bro.
You still in Russia, guys. I mean, Tucker. But there was a lot of feedback and everybody's own opinion on Twitter, right? And so you guys have seen, we have something called Cruising on X, right?
Oh, so the Cruising on X segment.
Let's see, that's a popular topic right now. Let's see what we got more or less. Oh, the first thing I pull up, go figure, right here, Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm not sure. Well, we can interpret this our own way. Watch this. Says, the MSM debate moderators tried to shut me down when I said this over 3 months ago, treating it like a fringe conspiracy theory. It's not anymore. We all know this. Now it's playing out exactly as predicted, and we're still in the early innings. Brace yourself for what's ahead in 2024.
Holy shit, this was back in November.
Yep. What does he mean by this, guys? This is initially something I was going to bring up. You can see a clear difference between Putin as Russia's leader and ours. Okay? We ain't got no fucking leader.
Right.
We got Biden.
El Biden. El Presidente.
One message to the Democrat Party. End this farce that Joe Biden is going to be your nominee. We know he's not even the president of the United States. He's a puppet for the managerial class.
Damn.
That's what he said.
Step up and be honest about who you're actually going to put up so we can have an honest debate. Biden should step aside, end his candidacy now, so we can see whether it's Newsom or Michelle Obama or whoever else. Just tell us the truth so we can have an honest debate.
Fuck, man. Bro, I hope to God that Vivek is Trump's VP. But anyway, that's a whole different.
I hope so too, man. I mean, I think that would be a strong team.
He's like a mini Trump, a mini Trump in terms of aggression, but on another fucking level in terms of intelligence.
Well, I mean, look, you gotta have your current leader, and then you have the mentee coming up, right? Mm-hmm. Mentor, mentee. the next leader coming up, and that's very important because it allows for smooth transitions.
Yeah, it
for
does.
success of any organization, country, etc. Right? Teams, blah blah blah. Like, if you don't have somebody that you can trust that's getting ready to take over after you've parted ways from your initial responsibility, then that's initially why we have issues the way we're at right now. This country, like we mentioned, Mike, and ladies and gents, our nation is fucking weak now. Putin basically said it in a very cautious manner. Of course, he didn't necessarily say it too much to cause too much controversy with us because we're still strong. But the thing is, there's something of the sort, and I can't necessarily quote it word for word, but basically it's this: you'll never interrupt an enemy when they're their own demise. In other words, let them follow through. Let the nation that was once great. Don't add to it and spark some fire there. If they're destroying themselves, fucking let it happen. Just watch from afar. And that's initially what every other country outside of us is doing. Russia, China. In the interview, Putin they touched their economic standpoint and population. I think at Russia they have 150 million people. So China's got I think 1.6 billion, if I'm not mistaken. If memory serves me correctly. I'm sorry, guys. This was a lengthy-ass interview. China's economy has already passed over, and I believe the stats that were pushed out was maybe it keeps growing 4 to 5% every year, right? It's
fucking crazy.
That is crazy. And their economy supposedly has already passed. Now, it's up for debate. Apparently, their economy is also at a crisis. Maybe it's growing too fast. I don't know. They're
little
still
bubble. Did you see that this year... the United States officially has made Mexico their main trading partner over China.
It's about fucking time.
They've officially surpassed making trades with with Mexico over China.
It's about fucking time. That's all I got to say. Yeah, all I got to say.
It is because, guys, keep it domestic.
Keep it domestic.
And obviously it's international, but what I mean by domestic is keep it in the Americas.
Exactly. Americas. Mexico's part of Americas. For those of you guys that understand, that's another country. Whoa, it's still part of the same continent. All right, chill the fuck out.
No shit.
The Americas, okay? But we're continuing to cruise through X, and one thing I was bringing about, again, Patrick Bet David. Guys, please give him a follow. This guy knows his shit.
He knows his shit.
He also summarized basically what we're saying, right? And I'm just looking at this. Let me see what stands up to me. Okay. 2 leaders were interviewed tonight with complete different outcomes. One, President Putin was interviewed by arguably the most fearless journalist in America, which is very rare nowadays, okay? Tucker Carlson, okay? Putin seemed loose, calm, and came with a clear agenda. His agenda was to teach the world untold history of Russia. That's exactly what Mike and I just said. For about close to a whole hour, he was just going ahead and giving a whole history lesson of Russia and the relationship with Ukraine.
And why they were never separate from Russia.
Exactly. And why initially, they attacked Ukraine, right? It was never, ever actually its own country.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No, it's just there was unfortunate events that happened that would stop Russia from officially claiming Ukraine.
Yeah, and what's interesting, guys, is that Ukrainians were actually a label created for the people guarding the border of Russia. There was never any Ukrainian as a society or Ukrainian as a country.
Reminds me of the whole Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the wall, the ice wall.
Oh, ice wall. What are they called?
I forgot.
Anyway, Jon Snow.
Yeah, how they would send them out there, and they're essentially excluded or exiled.
Yeah.
Some of them were prisoners, sent whatever the case may be, but that could have been the inspiration for that, dude. I mean, we don't even know.
Maybe.
Right? It could have been the inspiration for that these were essentially Russians sent to the outskirts.
For the show, guys. An inspiration for the show. The fact that they had their history.
Yeah, guys, not the other way around.
And by the way, guys, throughout the interview, Putin was constantly pushing out these documents, right? For Tucker. Hey, if you guys don't necessarily believe what we're pushing out, here's a fact check. Here are the documentations for it, right?
Yeah, that they pulled from their archives.
Letters from from at the time Ukraine leaders or presidents, right? Saying, hey, you know what, we need this or we want this from Russia or something of the sort. I don't know. They get more in detail, again, going off of memory. And then, of course, going on to what I was reading right now. On the other hand, okay, whether you bought his argument or not, and we're talking about the history and facts provided, you can't doubt his level of poise and firmness and ability to persuade.
No, dude.
On the other hand, President Joe Biden had a press conference where he was questioned by journalists from different media outlets. He had no agenda. He seemed confused. He seemed miserable, seemed defensive, and came off as someone who's being bullied by the media. That's exactly what Mike and I were just talking about. Go figure. Wow. You know, President Biden looked like shit. I'm sorry to say. I'm just going to put it plain and simple.
It's the truth, man. There's really no other way. Look, you can either sugarcoat it and be like, you know, he's an old man. He's not mentally competent, which is the same reason why, go figure, they're choosing not to prosecute him. The Justice Department essentially said because of his age and mental capacity, we cannot prosecute this man.
Bullshit.
Understand, guys, there is a 3-year difference between Biden and Trump. They've literally just inadvertently said that our own president is not mentally competent.
And that is fucking pathetic, guys.
Yeah, but that spills into this, guys, because it's clear as day. Everybody can see it. I think there was another interview with Biden, and I won't go find the video, but you can go look for it, where Biden's talking about how he spoke with Mexico. And I don't know what the leaders of Mexico, but then he's actually supposed to be referencing Gaza, the Gaza Strip. So it's like, holy shit, guys. It is clear now more than ever. And Vivek knew it from the start.
Yeah,
Back in November, he already knew potential claims, which actually goes into the rest of.
Okay, so yeah, as Mike was reading along, I was reading along, and Mike was following.
I see
there was another
Obama's
thing
there.
that came into effect, and Mike and I have actually talked about this outside of the podcast.
Yep.
It's like, hey man, they're gonna have to deal with Biden if the Democratic Party wants, which is, by the way, what we mean by that, by August. The Democratic National Convention, they need to go ahead and make the formal announcement. DNC. They need to make the announcement, the formal announcement of who their main candidate's going to be. There's rumors going about, Mike and I were talking about this,
right,
possibly them pushing out Michelle Obama, right?
Right.
And then there's rumors adding on after that. They're pushing out, what is it, California's governor? What's his name?
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin. Oh my gosh. Please no, guys.
If you want to see what the country would look like, go look at California. Go look at San Francisco.
Nobody's fucking there.
The homeless issue hasn't been resolved. It's just a shit show of a state.
Everybody that has money is leaving. You know,
people are robbing stores, telephones. There was this one video I saw of a guy going inside an Apple store and just ripping the phones off of the cords. Nobody's doing anything.
It's fucking
do that
stupid.
shit in Texas. Someone's gonna bust out their fucking.
We don't say
weapon.
It. They're gonna use that at you.
No
What'd
shit.
you say? You're gonna shoot someone at me? But nah,
no,
man.
I'm saying like because.
In other words, we just won't allow it. We'll get in the fucking way and stop your ass.
Right.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you know, that's spineless. It's like, what are you doing? The level of degeneracy, the level of incivility,
that's what it is,
incivility
bro.
is
Degeneracy. That's exactly what it is. You know what it is?
Sad.
It's laziness, lack of education, lack of integrity, lack of purpose, lack of spiritual value. It's like, damn, you know, at this point, are you even fucking worth having a life? I'm sorry to say. You ain't contributing. It's like, get the fuck out. Go somewhere else, man. Please, for the love of God, just go somewhere else.
It really comes down to this. Survival of the fittest.
And you know, and then you guys bring about the whole victim mentality because I was suppressed. I didn't have this. You know what, motherfucker? Most people don't have this. And across the country, there are fucking third world countries. I'm sorry, and they're doing better than you. They're fucking smarter than you are at this time. It's common now for countries outside of us, believe it or not, to know anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 different languages. We're stuck with 2. Barely. Most people only 1. Most people can't even speak English correctly anymore.
Right.
You know, so it's just pathetic, guys. And you know, I'm sorry, I went a little rant there, but
it is pathetic, brother, and it is something that needs to be highlighted.
And you know what? Oh, cool. Look, not lastly, but one of the last things I want to bring up right now.
So we're back in the hotel room.
Whoops.
Is this after the
What I'm about to bring up right now is, I guess, I come across this as Mike was speaking. I'll cruise a little bit just to see what more information I can bring about. This is a short of Tucker Carlson's, feedback on the interview, but post interview, right? Let's see what he had to say.
It's, I don't know, probably around 10 o'clock at night. We were there for almost 5 hours.
Shit.
Damn, 5 hours?
Experience, if you've read about the Kremlin your whole life, as I have. Not that different from the old executive office building.
Very different.
19th century. Putin was a couple hours late, as is his habit, apparently. Was laughing a little.
His habit.
I'm not exactly sure what I thought of the interview. It just happened. It's probably going to take me a year to really
digest it,
decide what that was. But a couple of quick perceptions. One, Putin is not someone who does live interviews. Well, really any interviews isn't an interview.
That's what we're just saying.
He's not good at explaining himself. I didn't think. He's smart. There's no question about that. But he's clearly spending a lot of time in a world where he doesn't have to explain himself. So we're back in the...
So that's what we're basically saying, Mike.
Yep.
That's what we're basically saying. So you could tell, like, he doesn't necessarily ever... I mean, come on. You've seen so many memes out there where Putin just shows up and people bow down and say, hey, you don't got to put no effort, but just be our leader. The respect is there.
It's odd because I think a big reason why Putin doesn't put the time into it is because he said it himself. America, United States of America specifically, are the masters of propaganda. We control all the media.
Yeah.
United States of America. They control all the media in the Americas. They control most of the media in Europe. They can't touch the east further eastern than that because then you get the communist societies. So, no shit. But the point is, guys, he knows he's not going to win the battle of propaganda. So, what does he do? Fuck the interviews. Why even bother? They're going to misconstrue whatever I say.
Yep.
So, I'm not going to go and explain and elaborately explain all my shit where they're going to take snippets of each clip and pin me as to certain things I said without context. So, what does he do in this interview? He knows that may happen. Let me just explain history because you cannot put history out of context.
I was about to say that. Maybe that was what his approach was. Him and his team is like, look, guys, we're here to understand how the West portrays media. We're not saying Tucker's going to do that. Obviously, he's trying to, that's why he parted away from Fox.
He's trying to find the truth.
Good stuff, right? He's got his own show. Go figure. His interview, basically his feedback on his interview ended up even showing up on Fox. And that's because he's no longer part of Fox. That's a dub on my end for Tucker. But as Mike mentioned, Putin's not stupid. He's a very smart man. And to be able to cite history as far back as he did, shit.
In a very coherent manner as well.
Our president can't even remember what the fuck he did yesterday. That was just fucking about 24 hours ago.
No shit.
We did that, guys. We got nobody else to blame. We can't even blame President Biden. Biden. We can just blame ourselves for doing this shit. You know what? I blame you, motherfuckers. I blame myself, too, for not speaking out. We came too late.
Yep.
But elections are coming up. I think if you do have some time, guys, watch. Again, fast forward to maybe an hour in already on the Putin's interview if you want to watch it. You're going to learn a lot about history. It's important to know about history worldwide.
Yes, it is, guys.
Yes,
it is.
It
really gives you a clear lens.
And plus, continuous learning, believe it or not, keeps you actually young. That's a fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
The more active you keep your brain and physically,
you develop new neural pathways.
Exactly. So 2024 elections are coming up. Who you going to vote for? You guys already know our position. Mike and I, we're going to call it. Vivek's going to be vice president, but we got Trump and Vivek as a running race. Nikki Haley, I believe they're going to try and the Democratic Party might even go above the, out the approach of recruiting her for the Democratic Party. I wouldn't even be surprised anymore. She's basically just a complete lobbyist, completely funded by lobbyists, as you can tell already. But the only chance Democrats have is through her.
Yeah, at least for attacking the Republicans.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't fucking doubt if she even flips over.
I wouldn't.
Flip-flop as a Democrat.
Yeah, I just said that, man. I had no doubt. I'm not surprised anymore about this bullshit.
Bro, it's very hard for me to understand how they can put the self-interest above a nation full of millions of people. Like, how selfish and demonic do you have to be to risk the lives of millions, risk the lives of billions, arguably, just to maintain certain shit for yourself? It's fucking crazy, dude. Like, it's borderline demonic because...
And I don't mean demonic. No. It is demonic, bro. Don't even shy away from it. Because you know what? Mike and I have gotten a lot closer to the Bible. And again, I've mentioned a few times there's Bible study. But there's always a certain order of how you're supposed to initially manage your success. It's supposed to be God, family, and work, and etc. Your duties, right? God is always first. The second you lose that, you start to idolize any other figures, or granted, this can be other gods, right? Because unfortunately, there's different religions that put other gods above our own one and only God. Money, certain statues or anything, things like that. that makes you lose your course. And you know what ends up happening? You have these issues right now. So many nations have gone down to dust because of these lack of values. Yeah. And we're on that path right now.
No so shit, and we're a fucking young-ass nation.
Technically speaking, because you and I are Christians, it is demonic, bro. It's a demonic path.
It is.
Because this is money over everything.
Right. And it's very greedy, and it's like all the sins bundled in one fucking package. And it's not right, guys. And even if you're not religious, if you're on a if you have any morals or any ethical beliefs, you would see it. It doesn't take any religious standpoint or religious views to see that. We label it as demonic. If you want to label it as something else, there's no way you can label it as prosperous.
And I'm going to tell you this. A lot of times, from my experience, on why people tend to lose faith and decide, because it's a decision, and this is your free will, granted, something that the Lord gave us, right? But the reason why people tend to leave God's path and say God isn't real, if he was so real, then why are all these bad things happening? He has an overall purpose for each and every one of our souls, right? You know, recently I went over, I just finished the book of what was it? I'm in the book of Joshua now, right?
Okay.
And this is when the Israelites are finally getting ready to pass over to their promised land, right? And granted, before they were able to make this happen, they had to basically, after having the leadership from Moses and Moses passing on his leadership to Joshua, which go figure, we were just talking about how transitions is all about how you manage mentor and mentees, right? You don't have that right, everything's going to fall. Anyways, I'm going to speed it up, sum it up. There's a path to everything. God saved his people from Egypt, from being slaves through Moses and his power, right? The power that God provided.
Right.
But instead of directly taking them to the promised land, which was supposed to happen in a matter of days, the lack of faith that the Israelites kept having is what initially God told the people, hey, you know what? None of you are basically worthy for this. He kept them in the wilderness basically for 40 years so that generation of unfit would no longer enter the promised land because they would end up disobeying him and basically idolizing these false gods and all these other figures such as money and all that stuff. Exactly. So a new generation had to come in 40 later that were worthy enough to basically practice real practices that were worthy of God's praise. And so the point I'm trying to get at, guys, is we're supposed to go through bullshit, okay? It's part of God's plan.
Part of the tribulations.
And it's going to change you for the better. And I'm not saying, hey, it's easier said than done. Everybody's going through their own things. Deaths, hardships, torture, they're just so many things, finance problems, finance troubles. But, one thing that you got to understand, guys, is keep your faith.
Yes, guys,
keep your
please.
Faith. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Once you do get there, it's going to change you for all the better. You're going to be a stronger person. I've never met someone who hasn't kept their faith, gotten to the end of the tunnel where the light is all out, faith in God all above, and become a better person from it. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be fucking hard. Mike and I are still going through our own trials and tribulations. And there's probably going to be tougher ones out there.
Yep.
But you got to trust in the Lord, ladies and gents.
You got to have trust and patience, guys. That is how you truly test your faith.
Amen.
A lot of the times you're going to want things to come now. You're going to want things to come when you demand it. But you have to understand that there is a bigger purpose to things. When you operate from a purpose standpoint, you start to let things develop. You start to say, what purpose is this for? And you need to understand, guys, that life is not about finding, answers and like demanding it now. Life is about finding out what questions to ask. Ooh. When you find out the questions to ask, the answers are there. But finding out the question to ask, finding out the issues, what's going to help you get to the promised land faster. And the promised land, understand, guys, that the Bible operates in hundreds of metaphors. And it does that strategically. It does that because it can stand the test of time. No matter what position you're in, a metaphor can apply to your specific deal because it's a plug and play in the sense of the takeaway. It's a metaphor. Now, understanding that, guys, you have to understand that if you're gonna take the position that you want to open up your mind towards whether it's Christianity, of the higher God, right? The purpose, the religion. Open the Bible.
Yep.
It's there for you. Read it. I'm not going to force you to do it. No one's going to force you to do it. It'll create some neurogenesis, create some new neural pathways that'll develop for you, expand your mind, and it will make you a critical thinker.
Definitely.
The Bible's full of questions. The Bible's full of metaphors and full of scenarios and real life situations that happen to each individual author, as well as whatever stories that they tell, whether it be about Moses, Noah, you name it. Those are the more notable ones, but they're there for a reason, guys. Please do it. If there's one request I have for you, I don't care, about anything else. If you don't want to subscribe or not, if you just came across this video by chance, then I'm glad you did, because I'm going to tell you, go open that Bible and go read. Just start. Maybe you end up religious or not after this. It's really up to you, but start. Don't just dismiss something because of what someone told you about it. Do it for yourself. Have that due diligence.
Amen, ladies and gents. Oh, man, I love what we do here. Like I said, guys,
I do too.
We're trying to initially provide value. And so thank you, guys. We're loving the community we're creating here together.
We keep growing, guys.
Each and every one of y'all.
We keep growing. We're at 180 subs.
That's right. So like, share, subscribe, and best of all, stay tuned, ladies and gents.
Stay tuned. God first, people.